Hi everybody, it's Christina and thank you for joining me. So today I'm going to make some homemade texture paste, and this is a really cheap option. If you buy it from the shops it's quite expensive, but using cheap ingredients will give you a really good product that will last you probably a couple of months. You'll need a really tight screw top jar to put it in, and the rest of the ingredients are just some cheap glue, some talcum powder, some white paint and something to mix it all together. Now I'm going to mix mine into this dish and then I can transfer it to my screw top jar. So what do we need to do? So into my container I've put half a cup of talcum powder, and I'm just going to put that on one side. Into the other part I'm going to pour some glue. And on this side I'm going to add some paint. So those are what I've used now so far. So what I'm going to do is use my wooden stick and I'm going to mix all these together. And as I say, if it's too thick you can add more paint. If it's too thin you can add more talcum powder. So I'm going to put some more glue in this. And carry on mixing. So what you're aiming for is a nice consistency, not too thick and not too thin. And that's a little bit too thin. So I'm going to put some more talcum powder in there. And I'm going to carry on mixing. So there's no lumps in that now, it's all nicely mixed, and that's probably about right. So now when you add that to your stencils, it's not going to seep underneath and it will stay raised on your card. So once you've done that now you can add this to your little screw top jar. So with your texture paste made up, you've labelled your jar so you know when you made it. You're going to take some on your spatula or your knife and you're going to spread this onto your card. And because it's nice and thick, it's not going to seep underneath that stencil. So we can add all the texture paste that we need. You're just going to spread it on like you do butter on your toast. Take off the excess and you can pop that back into your jar. Screw your lid on again, and when you remove your stencil, that's the design you will have on your card. Now another thing you can do with your texture paste is colour it. So to colour it, I'm going to put some ink down on my mat. I'm going to use 3 different shades. And I'm going to take a little from the jar and I'm going to mix it in with the colours. Now you won't need a lot because this will go a long way. So let's just mix this in. Now you will need to keep all your stencils and your tools clean. So you'll need to give them a good wash after you've finished, because if you don't, this texture paste will dry really hard and it will ruin your stencils and your tools. So we'll just add this along here. So again, I'm not using a lot, it's just to show you the difference. So we'll clean this off now and we'll go into the next colour and we'll mix that. And this is just mixing this now with distress inks. So you can use any inks that you've got to mix your colours. So once we've got that, we can add this along here. And as I said, I'm not mixing a lot, I just want to show the colours that we can get. And the last colour I'm going to mix is this deep one here. So this is Aged Mahogany. That one was Picked Raspberry. That one was Kitsch Flamingo. And now we've got Aged Mahogany. So we'll just mix this up. And then we'll add this to our card. So once you've coloured your paste and you've added it to your card and you've spread it all out nice and even, blend the two colours in so that you don't get any strange lines. And then once you've done that, if you wanted to change the look of it, you can always add some glitter. Let me just finish this off. So remove your stencil straight away and wash it. Wash your tools, wash your mat. And then if you wanted to, you could always change the look of this by just adding some glitter. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then leave that on one side to dry. And there's your beautiful glitter card. Another option you may like to try is to add your embossing paste to your stencil. I'm not going to cover it all. And then once you've got it covered as much as you want, take off the excess. And then you can sprinkle this with some embossing powder. Take your stencil away first. There's your design. Sprinkle it with embossing powder. Shake off the excess. And then you can heat that. But the difference with this is that once you start to heat that, the embossing paste will bubble. And it will give you another look to your cards. So there's some of the ways in which you can use this homemade texture paste. So I've used this paste and the same stencil throughout. This is the texture paste as it came from the jar when we'd mixed it. This is adding some colour to it to give an ombre effect. And this is the same one colour with some glitter on the top. Now this one gives a metallic look, and this is using the texture paste from the jar and then sprinkling it with embossing powder and heating it. So a good tip to help you preserve your paste is to clean the edge of the jar when you've finished, pop some cling film over the top and then add your screw lid to the top of that, and that will help to keep it soft. Only mix up as much as you need because eventually it will go hard. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one. In the next video I'll show you some of the ways in which I've used this textured paste background. Thank you so much for joining me, and why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and then you'll always be aware when I add a video. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.